All right, y'all. Before I hit play, I know this is a little different from what I usually do. I'm usually doing gaming stuff, but I'm a huge Marvel fan, so I wanted to do a reaction to this trailer. So yeah, we're gonna react to it, and then we'll react to a what is it called? A breakdown of the trailer. But yeah, I mean, I'm very excited. So far, I heard the trailer is like great, so hopefully it is. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking.
Wilson. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look.
They said lose the mustache or lose the election. You and I.
Oh, Ross is president?
Always agreed in the past. But I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position.
And if we disagree on how to manage this situation, then what happens?
Work with me, Sam. We'll show the world a better way forward.
That looks like a super soldier. Wait. That's the guy from the show, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Sir, your inner circle's been compromised. Either you can't see that, or you don't want to. What if it's a trap? Global power is shifting. You're just a pawn.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
Oh, he looks good in that suit. They finally gave him a good looking suit.
You're right. I'm not.
Did he just tear through? Oh, that is cool, dude. Oh, shit. We're back. Red Hulk, dude? He's probably gonna have to fight Captain America. Okay.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss.
All right, y'all. Let me know what you guys think about the trailer. We're gonna go ahead and react to this trailer breakdown because there's some stuff that I wanted to like bring up, but should I just do my own trailer breakdown? Nah, let's react to this actually.
And this is a breakdown of the trailer for Captain America Brave New World, the fourth Captain America film starring Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson and Harrison Ford as President Ross, coming February 2025. Let's go through this trailer shot by shot to break down all the big details you missed. Here we go. The trailer opens with Sam Wilson meeting President Thaddeus Ross.
Wilson. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look.
They said lose the mustache or lose the election.
Harrison Ford now plays Thaddeus Ross. The character was previously played by William Hurt from 2008's Incredible Hulk to
I think William Hurt
the character was previously
looks,
played by
this guy right here, he looks like a better Ross, in my opinion.
Incredible Hulk to 2016's Captain America Civil War, and then smaller appearances in Infinity War, Endgame, and Black Widow. William Hurt passed away in 2022. Harrison Ford has long been a figure suited to this genre, though. In the 1990s, he shifted from Indiana Jones films to playing Jack Ryan in Tom Clancy movies like Patriot Games and Clear and Present Danger. And while this never happened in any of Harrison Ford's Clancy movies, Jack Ryan does become the US president at some point in the books. It gets crazy. But of course, Harrison Ford then in 1997 appeared as the president in Air Force One. And that's the kind of like president equals action star nostalgia that I think Marvel is aiming for by putting Harrison Ford as president in this movie.
Get off my plane.
Thaddeus Ross was originally a general eager to bring back the super soldier program that created Captain America as he sought to contain the Hulk in the 2008 film, and he ended up unleashing Emil Blonsky as a juiced up super soldier who ended up taking an additional serum with Bruce Banner's blood that turned him into Abomination, and Abomination came back in She-Hulk. But the scientist who aided in that process was Samuel Stearns, aka Mr. Blue, played by Tim Blake Nelson, who returns in this movie as the green-skinned, hopefully large-headed The Leader. Yes,
the leader's in this movie. movie?
years later, which is absolutely nuts to me. Now, in Captain America's Civil War, Thaddeus Ross was the Secretary of State, and he was trying to rein in the Avengers after the Battle of Sokovia in Avengers Age of Ultron, and what was then the latest conflict in Lagos that opened Civil War. So when he says that we've had differences in the past, that's what he's referring to. At some point, Sam joined Natasha and Steve while they were basically government fugitives, and when Ross brings it up now, I love how Anthony Mackie just like lets his face drop, like, yeah, I haven't forgotten. Now, last year in Secret Invasion, the US president was established as President Ritson, played by Dermot Mulroney, but it seems like Thaddeus Ross has now beaten Ritson in the most recent presidential election. We last saw Sam Wilson in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier in April 2021 when he was dealing with the weight of Steve Rogers giving him this shield at the end of Endgame, and he teamed up with Bucky Barnes to fight the Super Soldier Serum empowered Flag Smashers, as well as US agent John Walker. That series ended with Sam embracing the title of Captain America with a new suit built for him by the Wakandans, but this movie's gonna put him in an even newer, bluer suit, yet we will see some early mission.
I kind of like his suit.
A version of the white
it looks
suit
pretty
from the
cool to me.
The whole idea of vibranium versus a more powerful metal is going to be an important issue in this movie. As Sam enters the White House, President Ross stands between portraits of James Madison and Thomas Jefferson. On the far left is a portrait of Dolly Madison, who saved some important founding documents when the British burned the White House in the War of 1812. And on the far right, John Tyler, who took over the presidency after William Henry Harrison died after just a few months in office. And I kind of feel like these two on the far left and right might tell us something about this movie, like a White House being destroyed and a very, very short-term US president. Sam and Ross joking about his changed appearance reminds us of the moment in Iron Man 2 when Tony Stark and James Rhodes had that line,
"Look, it's me, I'm here, deal with it, let's move on."
Making a reference to the recasting in that Senate hearing. Thaddeus Ross then gives a speech to supporters behind bulletproof glass panels, and while modern presidents often do this for big outdoor settings as Secret Service protocol, the fact that these panels are so close and the camera focuses on them so clearly just tells us how unstable things are in America in the MCU right now. All the campaign signs read, "Ready, Ross!" The others show his photo rendered in an artsy way, kind of like a monochromatic version of the Obama 2008 Hope poster, but we don't see any vice president listed on any of the signs. I assume this would be like Ross's victory speech. Now Ross continues,
You and I haven't always agreed in the past, but I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position.
And if we disagree on how to manage this situation,
Work with me, Sam.
Now, some inserts here hint at some military action. Let's break it down. We see some Japanese F-35s, and on the radar screen, we see what looks like Japanese fighter jets heading toward the Fifth Fleet in what looks like a hostile action. Yes, they might be on a mission together, but why would they be flying toward a US aircraft carrier? The Japanese and the US are allies, both in the real world and what seems like at the beginning
Yeah,
of
it
this
was
movie.
pretty
So
cool when
what's
he
going
tore
on
through
here?
that
Well, I'll tell you
aircraft
what they're fighting
carrier.
over. Tiamat! Yes, they are here in the Indian Ocean.
Oh.
That is the corpse of the dead celestial Tiamat from the Eternals film back in 2010. That is
wait,
the corpse
wait.
of
Oh, I didn't even
Celestial
notice
Tiamat
that,
from the
dude.
Eternals film back in 2021. This guy's technically
Finally.
just been sitting here dormant in the Indian Ocean ever since and rarely ever addressed in the MCU. But the rumors are true. We will be returning to Tiamat in this movie. The fact that it's Japan, though, is noteworthy because in the CinemaCon footage that we saw earlier this year, there was a line from Thaddeus Ross where he credits Sam and Joaquin Torres for recovering the discovery of the Millennium stolen from a Japanese mining site. I speculated that metal could be adamantium and that they will be recovering its raw form from this giant corpse. Maybe after the Japanese refined it, Giancarlo Esposito's character stole it, and it was recovered for the Japanese and the Americans by Sam and Joaquin, and that could be why we see Sam with Ross and that Japanese leader later. Geopolitics are going to be realigned by the discovery of adamantium, as all these countries are scrambling to get their hands on a valuable, weaponizable metal that would be stronger than Wakandan vibranium. That's what we saw in
Stronger?
the scenes with Val and
Wait,
Tony
adamantium
Ziegler
is stronger
and
than
Wakanda
vibranium?
Forever. Later shots show Sam and Joaquin both on this mission, and I think that might even be Sam crashing through maybe
That
an
is cool,
American
bro.
F-22. July is for nerds. There's so much good nerd stuff going on right now between Comic-Con and Deadpool and The Acolyte and House of the Dragon and The Boys, and well, you get the idea. It's hard to keep up, but it's easy to let the world know what's heartbrokenly covered Gear up for nerd season as Ruth Bat-Saraff, who this movie is described as a former Black Widow spy and now a high-ranking government official. In the comics, she's an Israeli superheroine named Sabra. I don't know how much they're going to go into that in this movie. I think they've kind of revised her origin story to be one of those Black Widow agents that was part of the network that we saw at the end of the 2016 Black Widow film. In this shot, she's sitting across from someone with a big old trembling arm. I think this might be our first shot of Thaddeus Ross as Red Hulk. She is staring him down, unafraid. Maybe she is the official who gives Ross the serum. So yeah, let's talk about it here. This trailer ends with the money shot of Red Hulk facing down Sam Wilson in Washington, D.C., catching and throwing down his vibranium shield. I love that the trailer just goes ahead to reveal this because it leaked in like McDonald's Happy Meal toys. So we've all basically known that it's gonna happen in this movie. Now it's peak cherry blossom season here, and it's just stunning. And this movie's gonna release on Valentine's Day. Those will be starting to be in bloom in the DC area. Also, I think that might be a cherry blossom branch in the pot on the table in the blue room when the president meets with Sam at the beginning of the trailer. So I think earlier scenes this way will establish this final showdown. So Thaddeus Ross becomes Red Hulk in the World War Hulk storyline. So Marvel fans have really been expecting Ross to take this step eventually ever since 2008. But why will he become Red Hulk in this movie? Who knows? It could be a move of desperation from a former soldier who wants to handle things himself. Maybe there will be a health issue that Ross was hiding and he takes experimental treatments for, because in that 2016 Civil War movie, he did hint that he had like a heart stent removed. Later trailer shots show Ross speaking in the garden outside the White House, followed by soldiers firing upwards at something. And then here, a huge part of the White House implodes. Now the official poster art shows a giant Red Hulk hand clutching a Captain America shield, and his fingers are starting to bend the vibranium. So we see the importance of needing a sturdier, stronger metal than vibranium. Are starting to bend the vibranium. So we see the importance of needing a sturdier, stronger.
Wait, in the comics, I thought adamantium and vibranium were the same thing. No, not the same thing, but like they had like around the same durability. They had like vibranium had its strengths and weaknesses. Adamantium had its strengths and weaknesses, but for the most part, they were like neck and neck. And then the only thing stronger than it was like Eru metal, which is what Thor's hammer is made out of.
And speaking of two,
but this one, adamantium just downright better.
Setting, we have this awesome new choose your fight best way to be someone who returns. And we also now see Giancarlo Esposito's character. Esposito has hinted that his character will be someone who returns in the Marvel series after this. And Scooper, My Time to Shine Hello, claimed that he is playing GW Bridge, or George Washington Bridge, who's a mercenary who does SHIELD Black Ops missions, but also joins Cable and the group Six Pack. He was originally one of these early 90s figures introduced by Rob Liefeld and Fabiana Chiesa in the lineup of Deadpool, Cable, X-Force comics. You know, he's just someone who always got like a lot of straps and bandoliers and big old guns. So when Giancarlo says he's going to show up in a show after this, it could be someone connected to the world of the X-Men or just any kind of show where there's arms dealings and specifically adamantium. So then the shot of Thaddeus Ross presenting in a White House ballroom with screens around him depicting a world map with sites highlighted. There's the US, France, and India with larger blips in them, but then stronger pings that might just be bases or world capitals of allies in this joint mission to recover adamantium and control its use. So we see a little dot on Iceland, on Portugal, and then either the Canary Islands or Madeira off the coast of Morocco there, then Tunisia in Northern Africa, Austria, and then up to Sweden, and then Ukraine.
Don't mention the war.
Afghanistan.
Don't mention the war.
Vietnam.
I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it.
Mongolia and Somalia, and then in a later shot, that's definitely Australia and New Zealand. Now we see cameras, so I assume this is being televised, but I wonder if the bigger sites, like the orange rings, might be the sites where adamantium deposits were found, because Tiamat has been with Earth since as long as humans have been around. So it may just be that Tiamat's emergence is what caused us to discover this metal that's been under our feet all this time. And I've said in a lot of videos before, it is just interesting that Wakandan vibranium came from a meteorite and that this substance would have come from something from the cosmos. That maybe both vibranium and adamantium were gifts from Marvel's gods of the Celestials to like empower and select Earth to be more fit to survive than other planets would be in the cosmos. Now, when it comes to this presentation, we later see Sam, Isaiah, and Joaquin at a global unity summit at the White House, and the photographer in the foreground has a green hand. So this must be Samuel Stearns, the leader, and he's posing as immediate personnel to trigger what happens next here. We see Sam sitting with Joaquin, and by the way, Joaquin's played by Danny Ramirez from Top Gun Maverick.
Who's Joaquin,
he was Sam's
bro?
U.S. Air Force pilot buddy who becomes Falcon in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and they're sitting next to Isaiah Bradley, Carl Lumbly, who we also met in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. He was a former government super soldier Soldier.
Yeah, I remember him.
Captain America, who was cruelly tortured and imprisoned and covered up by the US government until a nurse took pity on him and helped him break out. At the end of the Falcon Winter Soldier, he seemed to be in a better place. He's taken his grandson Elijah to visit the Captain America exhibit at the Smithsonian, but now in this movie, something happens here to trigger him into a kind of brainwash, taking a Secret Service agent's gun and firing at the president. And we see how Isaiah still has his enhanced strength. He throws this guy across the room. Now the CinemaCon footage indicated that this was an audio frequency that plays throughout the room, and it brainwashes him, and that Isaiah won't be the only person affected. Other Secret Service agents will as well. And we see Sam fighting with one of those guys. So there's gonna be a big mess. And we're gonna follow Isaiah through the White House. He leaps through the window of the same room that we saw earlier. So Sam tells Ross in the Situation Room that his inner circle has been compromised. And then we see Sam and Joaquin in a different scene finding a grimy lab with medical equipment, a chair with straps, a gurney with straps, and a red light over it all. So likely this is where they turned Ross into Red Hulk. Now here, this is a part of the reshoot footage where Sam jumps and kicks two guys and rolls to stick the superhero landing. We saw him do this same move in the opening Lagos mission in Captain America Civil War, but there he used his wings to do it. Now he doesn't need his wings. In the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Sam did not inject the super soldier serum, but maybe he will inject a version of it in this movie. I mean, he is going up against a Hulk. I feel like he needs it. Then another shot of Samuel Stearns, Tim Blake Nelson, with a bit of green on the back of his head as he says global powers are shifting. He went by Mr. Blue when he was corresponding with Bruce Banner in the 2008 Hulk film, and he's wearing a hat here. I just hope we give him a slightly enlarged head. Please, please, please. Now, often paired with Ruth is actress Hossa Roquemore, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to say that correctly because she's named after the Hossa people of South Africa, and they have a specific consonant sound. Her character is not named yet, but I wonder if she could be a Dora Milaje embedded with the US government and reporting to the Wakandan government the US attempts to develop adamantium weaponry that they're trying to use to overpower Wakandan vibranium. We do not see Liv Tyler as Betty Ross in this film, but she is confirmed to return, and set photos showed her at a funeral, and we see that funeral in
Betty
this
Ross
trailer,
again?
and I'm wondering if this
that's
is Steve
Holt's
Rogers' funeral or maybe a ceremonial
interest,
funeral,
yeah.
because they still can't find him, and maybe they're just assuming he's dead. I'm loving all the shots of Sam's new blue suit in this trailer because they're keeping the wings now, and actually they make the wings bigger and like more feathery shaped. Like they really do look like the wings of an eagle. And it's just so cool that Sam can always find his own way to express his patriotism. As he faces Red Hulk in the DC Cherry Blossoms, we see that he has a new version of the drone Red Wing as well to go with his new suit. And the fact that they're using more avian imagery to design his suit almost makes it forgivable that they turned Red Wing into a robot drone. I want Red Wing to be an actual bird like he is in the comics, but it is very cool here to see him breaking the sound barrier in that Tiamat fight over the Indian Ocean, because it's like what we saw in the early flights of Iron Man's suit in the first film. This movie is going to rock. Look, I know February 2025 could be a very difficult time for our country, and seeing a drama with a crazy president turning into a Red Hulk.
That's true. I haven't thought of that. That's when the
or this movie could be,
I mean, the election's gonna be over by then.
It could be the escapism we all need. But announcement tomorrow, we are gonna have a very
All right, man. Let me know what y'all think. I know this is like a very different type of thing, but I'm really excited for the movie. I'm definitely gonna buy tickets for the premiere, and so far it looks good. I just want it to be good. It doesn't need to be a great movie, but I at least want it to be good. I feel like we haven't had a really good Marvel movie in a while. So yeah, make sure y'all like and subscribe, and keep an eye out for the next one.